Hello, I'm James Smith. Welcome to a very special Total Access pre-fight edition of In This Corner with Robert the Ghost Guerrero. On Saturday, May the 4th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas and on Showtime pay-per-view, Robert the Ghost Guerrero takes on unbeaten pound-for-pound king Floyd Mayweather. Just a few weeks out before the bout, Guerrero granted In This Corner total access. Robert discusses his boxing career from the embryonic stages to winning 4 world titles in 4 weight divisions. We'll also hear from Robert's dad and trainer Ruben Guerrero as they both explain about their unique in and out of the ring relationship and how it has been so successful where so many other father-son boxing trainer relationships have failed. Robert also opens up about his wife Casey's battle with leukemia and how he feels that struggle makes a fight with Floyd Mayweather or any other fighter pale in comparison. Then we step inside the squared circle with this determined and talented southpaw as he demonstrates some of the skills and techniques that have made him a world champion and he feels will enable him to pull off a shocker over Floyd Mayweather come May the 4th. That's all coming up on this Total Access pre-fight edition, Robert Guerrero on In This Corner. In This Corner TV, Smitty, missing the late, great Tony Rila. We're at the IBA gym. The Ghost, Robert Guerrero, he takes on Floyd Mayweather May the 4th at the MGM Grand. You wrapping your own, are you doing this wrap for me here or what? This wrapping your own hands thing?
No, I like to wrap my hands all the time.
It's funny, certain fighters are like that. Why is it with you that you like to do your own?
I think when you have somebody wrapping your hands, it's like a prima donna thing. You know, wrap my hands. I know when a construction worker goes to work, he don't go and say, hey boss, nail the hammer, nail the nail in for me. So,
are you that old school? Where do you get this from? Is Papa rubbing off on you or what?
It's the way I was raised, man. The way I was raised, and you know, you got to come and take care of business wherever you're at.
Well, let's talk about one of the things that's helped you become the man and fighter that you are is your dad. Tell us about this unique relationship, how it started and how it's blossomed into what it is.
You know, just the way he raised me. He raised me tough, raised me to work hard. You know, throughout my life, I mean, whatever I do, you know, he's always raised us to just, me and my brothers, just get out there and get it. Work hard, you know, don't let up and just do what you got to do. And, you know, that carried into boxing. You know, we love the sport. We grew up around it. You know, my grandfather was a fighter, my dad, my uncles, my brothers, cousins, I have aunts that box. So, you know, we just grew up around the sport, watching boxing all our lives also. And, you know, you take that hard work ethic from him just working hard all the time and you bring it into boxing and you got some talent, it's going to take off.
I had all my boys boxing. They all boxed, you know, they did all the national tournaments. I had them all boxing, growing them up in boxing, and Robert was one of the smallest ones, you know, and he started showing up to the ring on his own, and he did himself. He just started coming to the gym, you know, and he started liking it, and I just started looking at him, and Daddy, glove me up, Dad, do this. I pay attention to the kid, you know. I go, no, I got to take care of these guys. You go ahead and go play. He'll be, every time you want to come, jump in the car. I go, what are you doing in here? I'm going to the gym, Dad. I want to be in the gym. 5 years old. And he'll be putting on his own gloves, hitting the bag. You know, he just grew up in the gym.
What did you see in him that sort of stood out and made you think, wow, you know, we might have something here?
I seen a lot of potential on Robert when he was little. You know, I seen it on his own. So I go, man, this kid's a natural fighter. So you know what, I'm going to start working with him a little bit. So I start working with him, and the bad thing about it, he was the odd one, softball. I was used to working with righties all the time.
Did you ever try to convert him?
I tried a couple of times, but it didn't work, and I guess he didn't like it. He goes, no, I like it like this, Dad, all the time. I hit harder with my left, you know. I go, all right, well, we'll go with that. So we just kept on going, you know, kept training him, you know, a little lefty, and I got used to training a lefty. And it wasn't easy, but, you know, that's how we came up, you know, me and him working hard.
Tell us about his amateur career and your work with him during that.
Robert had a great amateur career, you know, and every time we go out, once we start competing the big nationals, you know, Robert was always ready, always training hard, and always ready to go. And his dad was ready to go. We want to go to nationals. Let's go to the POW. Let's go over here, blue and gold. Let's go. He won mostly every tournament. Every time we went, our boxing gym was real small, and he would be the only one to qualify, for the nationals, competition. And all these other big cities, Fresno, all these other places, San Francisco, Oakland, they all had a lot of kids, to compete. And I only had one every time. And I'd be coming in, they'd be like, hey, why are you coming all the way so far for one guy? You should have bring at least 5 or 6, it's a lot of money, I go, all I need is one guy. And they look, oh, okay. So me and him, we'll be ready. Robert will take the whole tournament. And then these guys will come in with 10, 12 guys. And at the end of the road, they'll be going home. And we'll be right there in the championships. And then those coaches will look at me like, I'll be damned. You are right. All you need is one guy. And they just look at me.
One guy happens to be your son?
Robert.
The one thing with my father is he treats me with a lot of respect. And the way he raised me to be a man. And that's how he treats me, like a man. You get a lot of father-son relationships, and the father's always treating their son like if it's his son still. There's a time where you got to let go and know your son's a man now, and he got to make his decisions. And, that's what he done. He let me go. Hey, you're a man now. You make your decisions. I raised you to make the right decisions, and hopefully you do. But I'm going to treat you like a man. And that's what he does. And that mutual respect between us, it's like, father-son, and it's like a friendship, because the egos go out the door. We hang out, we have fun together, we train together, we get home. That father-son relationship, comes into play also, and it's just one of those things. When you have that respect for each other, it works.
Robert loves me. Me and him are, we're best friends. We're like best brothers. Me and him are like brothers. Mm-hmm. He don't treat me like his dad. He treats me like a brother. That's how close we are. And outside the ring, man, we love each other. We love each other, me and my son.
Back with more Total Access Pre-Fight Edition with Robert the Ghost Guerrero. You've done a tremendous job. Hopefully a lot of not only fighters, but people in general will follow the remarkable way you've handled the situation with Casey with the leukemia. It's not easy fighting to begin with, but fighting knowing that your wife, significant other, and best friend is fighting for her life had to be one of the most difficult, certainly a lot more difficult than Floyd Mayweather May the 4th.
Oh, I look at May 4th like, it's Disneyland, man. It's a playground, getting in that ring. What I've seen with my wife, what she's been through, through chemos and radiation and just all these different side effects, and especially being a caregiver for her. When I stepped away from boxing, I stepped away to be her caregiver. Not just to be there by her side, but to be her caregiver, to take care of her, give her the shots she needs, make sure she's taking her medicine, cooking her food for her, making sure that all the meals are right. I had to step it up and really be there for her. So, just that mental stress, everything that comes along with it, it makes you a better person. It makes you a stronger person mentally.
He's a very tough kid, and I won't know how he would handle that. How he could handle, doing his boxing career, and then taking care of his wife. Sleeping next to her, doing her medication, putting her shots in, everything. And that's very hard. And people don't understand that. During Robert's career, he had 2 battles he was fighting, boxing and his wife, his wife with leukemia. And now, people are going to find out that, we beat all that. He beat all the cancer. Thank God, he's a big believer in God, Robert. And he never stopped believing in God, And when she was real sick, she needed a bone marrow. And they go, you know what? The doctor told Robert, you know what? She needs a bone marrow. She ain't going to make it. And then I seen it in my son's eyes. And I go, man, this ain't good. And my son, me and my son, we were walking, we were talking, and I go, son, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. He goes, you know what? It is, Dad. Because you know what? I got my Jesus Christ on my side, and everything's going to be good. And I believe in Jesus that she's going to be good. I go, you know what, son? You're right. And you know what? 2 or 3 weeks later, boom, a bone marrow popped up for her. That was like a miracle.
Could you have done that without your personal faith and belief in God?
No way. No way. You know, that's what got my wife through the day. That's what got myself through the day. That's what got the family through the day, is having that faith in God. Knowing that, hey, you know what? You pray to the Lord Jesus Christ, it's going to come out okay. And, you know, that's the way I do everything.
People don't understand how tough Robert's road was because, you know, she was very sick and he was fighting like that. And all his boxing career, he was fighting some of the toughest guys, and he had always had her sick on his mind. You know, like when you got something in the back of your mind and you're fighting, you're not concentrating right. It's like a job. If you got something going on over here, you're not concentrating on your job. And that's tough to do when you can't concentrate on your job. And you know what? Robert would find a way to win. That's how tough Robert was. And now they're going to find out on May 4th. Everything's good.
You know, every time I get in that ring, it's, you know, putting God first. You know, he's blessed me with just so much leading up to this fight. I know I'm prepared for this.
Do you feel you are right now at your best as a fighter?
Oh yeah. I feel right now is perfect timing for everything. You know, perfect timing to take over boxing. You know, 147 pounds, I feel great. You know, my body's fresh. You know, I've made a huge impact at 147. And, you know, now it's time to take down the pound for pound best fighter in boxing. You know, I think it's perfect timing. You know, like I said, you know, I've been blessed with great challenges to get me to this position, to have me ready.
I said it here about a month ago when we taped the Countdown show. I was asked, how do you beat Floyd Mayweather? And I said, well, Floyd Mayweather he's a reflex fighter. And how do you beat him? You have to make him feel uncomfortable. And how do you make him feel uncomfortable? You got to apply pressure. And I said, but it can't be typical pressure. It has to be something unorthodox. You can't look for the sweet spot because you're probably not going to hit him here or here or here or here or here. You got to hit him perhaps on the elbows, perhaps in the back. You got to make him uncomfortable. And I say you got to think, not that you're not a very good fighter, because you are, but I think you have to think about, look at a blueprint of a Gene Fulmer, a Jake LaMotta, a Carmen Basilio. How did they beat Ray Robinson? Did they sit on the outside and try to play chess? No. They went in there and made him feel uncomfortable, and all three of those guys do have victories over Ray Robinson. Now that you've heard that dialogue from me, your response, and what's going to happen May the 4th.
You got to fight an extremely intelligent fight. Grassroots effort, just like you explained. It's a grassroots effort, and you got to break it down. You got to pick at it. You got to pick at it. It's like I said, like construction workers. You're going to go dig a trench. You're not going to dig it with one whack. You got to pick at it and pick at it and pick at it and pick at it and pick at it, and by the time you know it, you got the whole trench dug out.
Well, we want to wish you the best of luck and continued success. No matter what happens on May the 4th, you're already a winner with what you've done, and we look forward to Saturday, May the 4th.
Hey, thank you, and you guys are going to be surprised and happy May 4th. You see Robert Guerrero come in and lay out that blueprint.
At the IBA gym in Las Vegas, Camp Guerrero with the champ, the Ghost, Robert Guerrero. Let's talk a little bit about what you do best inside the squared circle that has made you a champion from a $126 to a $147, and you're hoping to claim the pound for pound title on May the 4th. What do you do best inside here?
Do it all. Outside, inside, turn, whatever you want me to do. It all depends on how your style is. You got to be able to make those adjustments and be able to build a game plan around a specific fighter.
Well, you're a very good southpaw. Now, in my opinion, the most important punch in boxing is the jab. In your case, it's the right jab. Give us a little illustration of the Robert Guerrero jab and the variations and what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, with the Robert Guerrero jab, it's a long jab, long rangey jab. See how from here? See how long my jab is? So it's a more of a long rangey jab, and it's a constant jab.
So you keep it, you keep working it.
Yep. It's the most important. One of the most important punches is that jab.
Right.
Jab.
Give us an idea of some of the variations you do off the jab. Like give us a power jab, for example.
You know, it'd be a tap, 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 pop. Stick. Not in an angle. Nice stiff jab. Wow.
So you could come off the jab with a lot of power. Yeah. Most guys can't. A lot of guys can't do that.
From a short distance from here to here, back there it can be just straight power. So it'll be a tap.
And they don't see that. They don't see it coming.
Yeah, and a lot of people, when they get hit with that second little tight jab, it's effective.
You certainly look strong in your last fight all the way through against Berto. One thing that he found out early was that you have some pop in that straight left hand. Give us an illustration of how you set up that powerful straight left off the right jab.
So I'll be here, sticking that jab, 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 wham. As soon as that jab sticks, it's like a blinder. That left hand comes solid. So these guys get thinking about this jab.
Thinking about the jab and turn it over.
Exactly.
A lot of torque in it too, a lot of power in that punch. It's nice to be able to have the powerful jab and the powerful.
The funny thing is I haven't really got to hit somebody hard with the left hand.
Why not?
Usually it's just nice and smooth. I haven't really torqued somebody with it. So
Well, you hope to do that May the 4th.
May 4th, I'm going to do that all night.
One of the things that you did such a great job of in your last few fights, again, especially the Berto fight, fighting in the pocket, fighting on the inside. Let's talk about that and how Robert Guerrero, with all that distance, is able to do it so well from the inside.
You know, just being able to change it up, like I said, being able to fight different styles, and recognizing different things in the ring. Where with Berto, I knew he thought he was the bigger, stronger guy. He thought he was just going to overpower me. So then I baited him in. Okay, you're the stronger guy. Act like I couldn't hold him off. As soon as he made that move, and I ripped him with the hard, solid shot. And then that's where, once he was befuddled, I knew, okay, now his wheels are turning. This guy has power. So he started to freeze up. That's why when I stepped on the inside, kept my foot on the outside of his left foot, and just stayed off to the left of him, and just dug, and just imposed my
And
body
constantly
strength.
backing him up.
Yeah,
You know,
just imposed my body strength on him, and just dug away to the body.
He found out how strong you were by a maneuver you made. Talk about that, where you basically threw him against the ropes.
Yeah, he tried to slip out this way to the right, and I grabbed him. I stepped off, grabbed him, and threw him back this way, and started digging him again. So he was trying to use his speed and his strength to get out, and I just
To strengthen the arm, grab him, and then
just torqued him back
Throwing
this
back.
way, and then jumped back on him. Once I did that, he was just like, this guy's way stronger than I thought.
For any fighter, controlling the landscape is very important. It's part of ring generalship. One of the ways you do it is your stance, your body positioning, and having that foot on the outside. Explain that, how you get in that position, because you always have pretty good balance.
Well, yeah, with that, you know, keeping that foot on the outside with me, it's always having that angle. Always having
Your
that
case
angle.
is a southpaw, the right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And using that jab, positioning yourself with that jab to get into that angle and have that. So when a lot of guys are fighting to be on the outside, me, I'm doing it with the jab.
Yeah.
Positioning my foot with the jab to the outside.
So no matter which way, even if he steps, you're still putting him back where you want him.
Yeah. So you're controlling it. You're controlling the pace. You're controlling the pace. A lot of people want to throw fast and snapping and throw everything. I like to thump my name. Thump, 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 thump.
And a lot of the power, it's funny in that, a lot of the power in that comes from the shoulders. And you were talking about, you know, the stuff that you do to loosen up those shoulders. Really, the great fighters, it seems like their shoulders are a lot looser than other athletes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of fighters throw a lot of fast arm punches.
Right.
I like to thump mine in.
Right.
Old school style.
Old school.
Old school throwback fighter style. Thump, 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 thump. Pop.
Look into that camera, tell your fans what's going to happen on May the 4th.
May 4th, you're gonna see the can opener. Open that can up and then crush it.
One little thing.
Robert Guerrero has already captured world titles at featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight. But on Saturday, May the 4th, he attempts to shock the boxing world and upset unbeaten pound-for-pound king Floyd Mayweather before a sold-out MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Can he do it? Don't miss Mayweather versus Guerrero, Saturday, May the 4th on Showtime pay-per-view. We want to thank the Ghost, Robert Guerrero, for joining us on this special Total Access pre-fight edition of In This Corner.